Welcome to the Real Connections podcast. This is Focal, and we have
Shane Weevil.
And we are talking about music history. We're going to be talking about some interview on Soapsuds and what he's been doing with his music in Melbourne. And then we're going to be talking about what Sino Evil's been doing over the past couple of years and what he's been doing with music. And then we're going to be closing it off with some music from each of us. So first of all, what we should be getting into is a bit of Hip Hop Madness, the channel. I've subscribed to it, and a whole bunch of other artists are part of this one because they definitely talk about a lot of history. I got recommended this one by Soapsuds. So where should we start, boys?
Up to you, man.
What catches your eye? I was looking at the Jack Harlow one. Where was that?
See, I was the fucking Logic one I watched the other night, and
that one pissed me off.
Yeah, I know it would, but it just shows that like the impressions inside the music and also mean a lot. Like even after you've made it.
Yeah, but it's more about your fans. It's not about your impression.
No, but it is, because if you've watched the whole thing of that, it's literally even saying about how, like, his manager had a lot to do with the, what would you call, the lack of credibility that turned into Logic's career. Like, for instance, if you watch the whole thing, Joyner Lucas says about
yeah, the 1-800, how he stole his song.
Yeah, because that was Joyner Lucas's, you know, his album that he ended up dropping that had, like, the Eminem feature and shit on it.
We'll go into a bit of that then.
This video is brought to you by Raycon. Stay tuned.
They use black too much.
At almost every turn, Logic has found himself as the butt of a cultural joke. Ridiculed for everything from his insistence on discussing his biraciality to his willingness to present himself as an open book to an inherently cynical audience, Logic has been written off by no shortage of fans over the years. But even as the world took from him with one hand, it gave with the other. Through it all, he's retained a passionate fan base.
See, and that just shows, it's just there, it's saying that you can't understate this. Logic in the US scene has a undeniably Eminem factor about him, which means that like no matter what, he's that underdog sort of story that people want to see succeed. And I don't think it comes down to anything other than like the American public being a little bit twisted when it comes to race.
No, especially like I did notice like especially watching this video before going into his album Everybody, he did actually push a lot of like trying to be black, like even he's like trying to push how black he is.
That's the thing. Yeah, he always tried to say that that underlying, because you know he's mixed race and everything, and I understand that and everything. But when you say the thing about like him being mixed race and it like reflecting in his music and everything, yeah, it does, sure, because he's definitely. But whether that's from the music he actually retained as a kid or his family are two different things.
What situations he's been in.
Like we know that his dad's black, but doesn't he not talk to his dad anyway? So it's like, yeah, you are white, but that's because you grew up around white. It's not because your skin is white. Like that's
it's the culture that you grew up in. It's not what you don't actually like talk black. You don't live black.
That's like I grew up around some of my friends are black, and they like literally grew up with like white parents and everything. And that's the thing, you know that them guys are like pretty much like exactly the same as me. And it's not a race side of this either. It's like
if I found out like all of a sudden that I had like a good like 15% African American.
Yeah, but you still grew up around everyone white. Like
I started like going, oh guys, I'm actually black. I need to like show that off. It's not like because I'm actually like I'm half Scottish, so my dad actually does come from Scotland. But I don't go saying that in my raps, like, oh yeah, I'm a half Scottish rapper and I butcher my meat and all that sort of thing. I don't even talk about butchery half the time or the fact that I'm Scottish and I don't talk about my bloodline and all that sort of thing. I just talk about like the things that I'm going through and everything that's happening. That's what I respected about Logic. He did actually have a lot of hard times where his dad did leave him.
This is the thing I can respect him for too, is like you can see that a lot of that is focused through music, because a lot of artists either they shy away from doing the music that really like, or they do the music that really helps them psychologically and stuff like that, but then they don't end up actually releasing it. It sits in their computer for years, and I can guarantee half of these artists that are like world famous have got like soft shit or like heart spelled shit that they've never ever given out to the public, because that's not the image that they want in the public.
I know, right? But it's like, dude, that came straight from the heart. And to be honest, if someone heard that, they would hear the relatable message that you're trying to speak, and a lot of people would hear it. Like, that's why I'm not afraid to drop any of my music. Like, every song that I have, I'm ready to drop it, no matter how sad it is. Like, that song on my first album, You, is about, like, the breakup that I had with one of my exes. And it was like, yeah, okay, it's like a pretty sad song, and I thought, okay, this is going to be like a pretty shitty song. It turned out it actually got a few plays on it, like a few hundred plays, and I was like, not bad, not bad. And that wasn't even trying to promote that song. I don't try to push that song out, but it was like that came straight from the heart. And I don't get why a lot of artists didn't do that. Like, you see, even though
but at the same time, just before you go on to say anything else, at the same time with these songs, like they come straight from the heart and everything. But the same is half of these people are that worried about image that the machismo of the scene in the industry will stop them from dropping any of those songs. And it does suck.
Oh yeah, because they're trying to not to change.
Yeah, not put that image out. They don't want that image at all, so they won't drop anything. But it becomes pretty obvious when.
I mean, imagine if Snack the Ripper started doing sad songs.
His new album's not far off it though.
Oh shit.
But he's got some fucking good songs now. I was actually listening to it on the way here. Ironic you brought that out. That kind of. I was listening to his new album on the way here. I'm not even kidding.
Snack's actually pretty good. You don't need to actually bring it up on there. Just tell me to bring it up.
I can just want to show you that I was actually listening to it on the way here, so you can be like, oh no shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get it right.
Literally
Get it up, man. Straight up. I love that.
And this is the type of shit that, like, because I'll tell you, in the industry is going to have a lot more people using guitars and shit like that in the next couple of weeks, because there's like these new wireless fucking guitar amps that run straight to headphones.
Oh, that'd be alright.
So like you can just sit there with a guitar,
plug your guitar like straight from your headphones, man.
Yeah, so
I'm pretty sure I've already seen that. I need that.
Yeah, but now they're like really high quality and don't need fuck all batteries and shit. I think it's like 2 AAAs or some shit now. That's alright.
Been living in the ditches and the pits with nobody surviving, cause survival don't exist. Came up in this bitch and I've been grinding ever since. So if you out here looking for some trouble, you can find me in the sticks. Been living in the ditches and the pits with nobody surviving, cause survival don't exist. Came up in this bitch and I've been grinding ever since. So if you out here looking for some trouble, you can find me in the sticks. Welcome to the outskirts. This is where I'm from, bitch. I came up in this dirt, so I ain't leaving till I'm done, until I'm dead from all the smoke and ash I'm breathing in my lungs. I hear killing living creatures just to feed them to my young. Got a grip but I'm off the handle though. Chop around meat like a cannibal. Got me shitting in the woods like an animal. Been jumping these hooks like salmon, bro. Motherfuckers around here heard my name, but I never been too concerned with fame. Back to my turf and the dirt I claim. In the backwoods I service range. Been living in the ditches and the pits, but nobody's surviving, cause survival don't exist. Came up in this bitch and I've been grinding ever since. So if you out here looking for some trouble, you can find me in the sticks. Been living in the ditches and the pits, but nobody's surviving, cause survival don't exist. Came up in this bitch and I've been grinding ever since. So if you out here looking for some trouble, you can find me in the sticks. I'm out here past the tunnels and the bridges, even deeper than the burbs. Always smell like burning diesel, drive a beater, but she purrs. Running with the wolves, sleeping in the cedars and the firs. Dead bodies in the bushes, we just leave them for the birds. My rig is jacked, wheels are big, gun in the back of the fill your wig. Got a grave in the yard that I'm willing to dig. We dealing with beef, never deal with a pig. Better hold on tight, I'm switching gears. Deep freeze full of that fishing deer. Bitch, it's clear, shit gets weird. Come around here, you can disappear. Living in the ditches and the pits, but nobody's surviving, cause survival don't exist. Came up in this bitch and I've been grinding ever since. So if you out here looking for some trouble, you can find me in the sticks. Been living in the ditches and the pits, but nobody's surviving, cause survival don't exist. Came up in this bitch and I've been grinding ever since. So if you out here looking for some trouble, you can find me in the sticks. river, in the bushes, fucking ever far away from the distraction, all the noise and all the action. When I die, won't be missed. Bury me out in the sticks.
This is stretch chords. All it is like 2 stretch chords.
When you say stretch chords, you mean like where you go?
It's like
Where you move
a
the
little
strings?
bit. It's like boom, and then press down and pinch upwards.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and then you do it.
That's
Yeah.
cool, I like
It's
that.
like just low down stretch chords, like because you can do the same thing up high, but it doesn't make that. It makes like up
No,
high.
no.
That was nice actually. I like
Whole
that.
bunch of tours, and I know just
Actually, this. I think I got to a good part. Where was it? Because we didn't need to go through like most of the anyway.
to get out of his commitments to tour with him. I just
So
asserting dominance.
I thought this was funny.
Might as well be fatal. In many ways,
This
it was
is
this
exactly
perception
my
of logic
point
that
of
likely
what
gave
this relates back to
as
what I was
enough for him
talking
to
about.
tweet. That white boy
when he
took
like started
We
like
talking
stealing
about it.
everyone's
I start
stuff.
playing my video.
No, it's not that.
Joint crazy. His manager says, yo, I'd like to get maybe you and Logic together. And I'm like, yo, that's cool. Whatever. A couple weeks go by, all of a sudden there's a record out. The number 1-800 blah blah blah. Now I feel saucy. You were so hyped about my album title being a phone number. Next thing you know, Logic's 1-800 song is a phone number. It's a song at that.
Just one of many accusations. The notion that Logic was creatively light-fingered became a meme. In one of the more comical claims, Freddie Gibbs saw their parallel uses of religious iconography on the album covers for You Only Live Twice and Everybody as enough for him to tweet. That white boy took that. While the accusation itself is definitely a stretch, the fact that Freddie felt sufficiently emboldened to go and demand an explanation from the white boy raises a larger question about Logic's place in the culture. Essentially, due to his persona, Logic had become a punching bag who could be offhandedly disrespected without...
This relates back to what I was saying before about the image of hip hop, and you having to sustain an image, and releasing that soft shit makes you not credible within the eyes of hip hop. Because hip hop comes in its basis comes from impoverished, people from all lives of walk. From all walks of life. We'll just put it that way. Because mainly the cultures that have picked up hip hop in general are impoverished areas and stuff like that. It doesn't matter about the race or anything within the culture of hip hop. I'm saying within what it has evolved to now within other countries, because you find the main demographic of hip hop in a lot of these European nations and nations like Australia are white people.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's where the whole extravagance of designer brands has come into hip hop in the last 10 to 15 years, because it's the evolution of the white person's input to hip hop. Because the early evolutions of hip hop, you're looking at the stuff that they had in the 90s, the Air Max Jordan. I mean the Air Maxes and the Jordans and everything. They all come from black culture. Yeah. Whereas if you look at the modern society and everything, the
and
stuff
the baseball brands as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, and you look at it, that the chains and everything within hip hop have become a lot more tasteful. They're not these big pendants that are covered in jewels.
Yeah, no.
That's because that's the easier side of the influences that have come from other. I'm not saying this is white. I'm just saying come from other walks of life. May have been Europe, may have been Australia, may have been
because I
Canada
don't
or
like chains, but I like shoes. And it's mainly because of fucking
and that's the American culture of hip hop coming through.
But no. Actually, it started from here, because it started with a pair of Air Maxes.
No, but that's the thing. I'm saying, even here, but the culture of hip hop in general. That's the culture of American hip hop coming over to Australia and then being carried back. You know what I mean? Because Australians wouldn't have been interested in shoes without American hip hop.
Basketball.
No.
It was basketball.
Exactly.
It started with
exactly.
Jordans.
But the thing is, basketball had a direct influence on hip hop as well, because of what do you reckon? The sporting legends that they idolized, these hip hop people, were the basketballers. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. Yep. We try to say that they were intertwined.
Well, look at Snoop. He was offered. He was offered a career in basketball, but he took hip hop instead.
And look at who sits at the front row of the fucking finals. For instance, earlier in the year when it was the final for Boston and the Warriors, literally Joyner Lucas is in the front row.
Straight up. Yeah.
So It's literally, they're so corroborated, it's crazy. And, like, you got people that drop crazy tracks, like Logic, for example, but the thing is, at the same time, he's dropping this soft stuff that doesn't create an image like that. Whereas you got people that have taken that image and used it in a directly different manner, like Little Dicky. When he first appeared, he wanted to be the joke sort of thing. So
he wanted to be like the Seinfeld.
And it doesn't. And because of that, he made himself an even more appealing artist than, in my opinion, Logic. From that point of view, though, because if you think about it this way, you can't really go and diss Little Dicky and anyone take you seriously on it.
No.
But you can go and diss Logic and have someone take you seriously on it.
You mean because he was a joke to begin with? He's deliberately...
Exactly, that's the point.
And no one still has taken him seriously.
The thing is, even if he pissed you off and you listed...
Who was the other guy that reminds me of?
Like Weird Al Yankovic from years
No,
ago.
he's called G something.
Oh, G-Eazy?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a few joke songs.
Yeah, he's a lot like Logic as well, but the thing is, at the same time, his music, like, he didn't ever try to do that, what's the best way to describe it? That,
He is too cocky for me.
No, it's not even that. He didn't try to do that, like...
He did have a few joke songs.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't try to do that, like, I want to help everyone stick, like a lot of rappers do, you know what I mean? Because the thing is, we know that, like, 90% of these people being like, I want to help everyone, don't really give a fuck about anyone, and wealth is the overall goal.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, it's like, at
the end of the day, we all want money from music, but I am actually doing this to grow and to, like, connect with other artists and to give everyone, like, an opportunity at the end of the day.
And this will relate back to that. It's like, everyone asks, where have I been? What have I been doing? Bro, I've been fucking working, because I know that I do my music for pleasure, and if it ever pops, it pops. But you know what? I want to be able to buy a fucking house before I ever pop.
Pretty much, yeah.
I see what you're saying. That's a priority over actually making making money through music.
Exactly. Like, for instance, I'm not going to lie. Like, if you want to book me. Like, hit me up. I'll give you my links at the bottom. I'll fly anywhere. I'm not cheap, but you want to book me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll fly anywhere in Australia. And to tell you what, that's a fucking commitment, because I hate flying.
See, I'm not, like, cheap either, but except for the part where I'm going to mix and record, like, music for people for free up until, like, the end of the year, and then next year I'm actually setting myself a price.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just work yourself up, and, like, if
and then you set a price. Yeah, I know what you're saying. You want to be a little bit established and have people know you a bit.
I even might go, like, I might
and
even
this just shows the type of person I am, bro. When it comes to music, if there's a deadline, I'm lazy as fuck. But if you book me for a battle and I'm being paid, bro, I'll rock up with 3 fire rounds, even if you give me 2 weeks.
It motivates you.
Oh, yeah, totally. Oh, yeah, bro, you got me straight back in a rap. Yeah, I didn't even have to fucking pay for your feature because you're my mate. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But, like I got it back straight back.
Yeah, that's because I do fucking... That's the thing. When I'm motivated to do stuff for people, like friends and stuff like that, they'll get it straight back. But sometimes people will, like, ask me for a feature that should be sitting in my fucking thing for weeks, and then I'll get the next message of, fuck. Like, before you know it, I'm sitting there at 4 a.m, because I said I have the verse by 4 like that Friday. It's like 4 a.m. on the Saturday morning, and I'm still sitting there recording it because I'm only like 12 bars through a 16-bar verse. Like, and it's fucked up.
I feel that.
But I guess...
You mean like fucking up and doing...
No, not even fucking up. Just like I'm trying to get it together because I said to him, it'd be done by today, and I'm still 4 bars short.
Your brain's fried because you're, like, pushing yourself.
Yeah, but then the best thing is when I've done that, it's like some of the best shit ever's come out, but at the same time, I've done that and had some of the worst shit come out, so.
Yeah, that's what you like.
But this is the thing, but I'm going to say this straight away, if it's horrible and I'm like, no, I'm not feeling this, I'll message the cunt and be like, guess what, you give me 2 more days. Like, that's...
Instead of getting pushed back, bitch.
Perfection.
Exactly, but that's the thing. I know so many other people within the industry that, like, that's the same thing. Like, I know people that have been like, hang on, send me that verse back, and then giving something better back after it. And as a matter of fact, I've done features with people and then had, like, sent them my verse and then be like, alright, well, I have to redo mine. Like,
you redid yours, but I like the first verse, but I like the second dub, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
And that works so perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait for that song to come out either. So, like, when are we doing the video for that?
Whenever.
We've got to wait for fucking Neil now.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, yeah, well, I'll hire out, like, a hotel room, we'll get some champagne bottles, and we'll, like...
Yeah,
get
exactly.
this shit popping, man. I can't wait to make this video. Because the song's gonna come out in September.
September 11th for a twin tat. No, I'm joking. They ain't gonna cut that out, no.
I ain't cutting that shit out. It's staying in the podcast.
Exactly.
That's how jokes are. It's controversial.
No, that's the thing. Like, this is the thing. I'm gonna say this straight away. Like, because I came from an era of battle rappers where the political correctness didn't exist as much, and now I see the point of view of comedians worldwide that say like the entire world's gotten too soft. Because in my opinion, it has, but it's not about gotten too soft. It's about the people, the culture warriors, the ones that want to always fight about political correctness that have been around forever, just have gained numbers. They're like one of the biggest gangs on the earth right now. Like, Jesus, before you're going to know, they're going to be walking around with fucking pink handbags screaming, Karen, Karen, Karen. Like, fucking... Thing is, when I grew up, it was like, oh, now you can't slap your kids or anything like that, bro. When I grew up, it was like fucking, what? Mom's going to bitch slap me? But at the same time, it was like never for nothing though. At the same time, because I was I'm not gonna lie, I was one of the worst kids I knew, and that's saying something. I was one of the worst kids I knew, and I grew up with some cunts.
Oh, dude, we all grew up with some pretty fucking mean people. I played soccer and ended up getting like put into the fucking. This is like school soccer, and it's not like teams. It's just like everybody on the oval at once. Imagine you're like some year like 2. And you're fucking trying to run around on the oval, and you're getting like knocked over by fucking everybody.
Oh, bro, it's funny. I was like, dude, like that's the thing. Like fucking a little bit of a story for the viewers right here. I know him through his cousin. All right, and here's how I met his cousin. We're at a bus stop one day. I was about 16. His cousin's about 15. It's a good while back now. And he's like, oh, you want to go smoke a rage? I was like, who the fuck are you? Start talking to this kid. Whips out a quarter. Try to snatch it out of his hand. And he yanks it back at the same time. We both had this quick little look at each other like, we're about to fight. We're like, I like you. He's like, I like you too. It's now 12 years later and we're still great friends.
No fucking shit. I love that. That's great.
Like, literally. And the funniest shit is that was just like where we grew up. Like, either you stood over people or you could just tell, like, if someone was on your same wavelength, you'd be cool.
Yeah, you're pretty much like, okay, yeah, that's that. No one's standing over anyone here.
Yeah, literally. That's the thing. It's stupid, but it's funny at the same time.
Alright, so I'm gonna go into 2 videos here. I'm gonna go into why frat rap was one of the most hated subgenres, and then we're gonna go.
Hell no.
Why not?
Why are we watching frat rap?
Maybe not.
Right, okay, Blink 182 meets Machine Gun Kelly.
I mean, fucking Mac Miller, man.
Mac Miller, right? But this is the thing. If you want to talk about a subgenre, like frat rap is just pretty much like the American version of Aussie barbecue rap.
What the fuck is Aussie barbecue rap? Show me that.
Oh my god!
Like, bring me the history of Aussie barbecue rap.
Okay, Aussie barbecue rap. Here we go.
I can't stand that shit.
What, Aussie barbecue rap?
Yeah.
It's pretty much the old era of Australian hip hop.
Dude, I learned what gutter rap was the other day, and I did not like it.
Gutter rap.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, the misconception of gutter rap is like fucking gutter rap was a term that was said way before Cursor even misconstrued that fucking thing. Okay, no one even wrote that. Alright, let's just say what Aussie barbecue rap is. Aussie barbecue rap is that,
gutter rap, would you, Cursor?
No, even then, like gutter rap's like more like Snowy Badman and stuff like that in the modern era, but like if you go back in the stuff, it was like Enters and stuff like that, like 10 years ago, the Curvies and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Like, because there is, like right now, there's still good gutter rappers, it's just you gotta find them.
Yeah. I remember how he got so much shit, Curve.
Yeah, and now like...
now look at him. Like...
Yeah, the dude's
actually... It was actually alright.
Yeah.
I
don't mind him.
Like... No, I remember years and years ago when I was young, he did this show, I was like, Criminal Minded or some shit like that. Some fucking, like, show in Adelaide, it was like Serial Offenders, Criminal Minded or some shit like that, I had no idea. And I had, like, all the cunts from Sydney, like Forte, Curvy, all of them coming down, and, like, Jimmy the Junkie came down to, like, host the whole thing. And, yeah, he was, like, I remember at the time, he was hell young, wasn't popping at the time. He just released a track with TKO, And this cunt played one of the best sets I'd seen in fucking ages. I was like, this cunt's gonna be a problem. Like, and now we're 5 years later, I reckon, and he's
The
killing
kid
it.
didn't get me full bass trays when I'm cruising in the base. Get massages from these leather seats. I like, what you know about this? What you know about that? What you know about spending a stack? Nothing. Always trying to get my motherfucking money up. Never down that I got the mind of a hustler. Too red hot. I still fuck with ya, but can't fuck with ya. No height, can't make a mistake. Fuck looking back when it's too late. Like, look. I'm just trying to be great, get my name said with the greats. When I leave this place, I leave a legacy. Endlessly, trying to reach my goals, lad. Never fold, had. I got the shit up on my shoulders, had the whole lot. But through it all, still watch my money stack. Back to back, number ones, that's facts. Let me stop all this confusion. And the publishing or distribution. Just me spitting raps in my room, damn. I do the yard work and I record them. Pay for shit that they ain't affording. I bought my own merch and I paid the orders. How you think I cruise around in this 100k cars? How you think I bought a house and no gun too bright? How you think I blew 10k, got the pokies and went back the next day, done another couple of G's, but they ain't really know. Nah, they ain't really know. I'll be staying on the low, always cruising on my own. Never answering my phone. Rocky driving when I'm stoned, but they ain't really know. Nah, they ain't no shit. Coppers really watching from your Snapchat list, lad, trying to get the plug where you're getting all your shit. Internet good and unknown the day the snitch. Everyone with a phone on a surveillance, so I stick to myself like catch you laters in the jail I make. One at the drain cases, getting to this money on a daily basis. Cruise around stone for the kid, catch your cases. How can I change? I've been the same since the young LA with braces. And the pop been a reason no in places. Still got my middle fingers up to the haters. But they ain't really know. Nah, they ain't really know. I've been staying on the low, always cruising on my own. Never answer on my phone. Fucking driving when I'm stoned, but they ain't really know. Nah, they ain't really know. I've been staying on the low, always cruising on my own. Never answer on my phone. Fucking driving when I'm stoned, but they ain't really know.
And like that motherfucker like sold that C-Class the other week, like it's fucking crazy. These cunts are making crazy money. And like, and the thing is, he does this shit and then he goes and does this style of music straight after it, and it's like, you can see where the gutter rap is, but then he goes and does this, which is like total West Side America.
Never heard this one.
It's fire.
You can tell what's gonna go on here.
It's so fire. And the Gen, one of the best producers in Australia.
I grew up in the West, that's why I grew up the West, and it's gon' stay the same until my death. See, that's a fact. Thinking back where we started, lad, that didn't change my life. I got up in my mom and dad. I got a different story to a lot of people. Now you're judge, how I come up. Now I thought we were equal up. Don't talk and talk. You better get your facts straight if you ain't know for sure. See, I was born in the flats, then back to Mounty lad. What my dad was doing, we don't speak on that. If you know some cuts, then you can ask that. That's still way too early to be putting that in any raps. I'm a phone with the story how we left the track. Rip the collar to and now we got a pull in the back. Mad cars, more rooms, take a story that's mad. Back comes cash up, I grew up around that. Facts. Growing up in the West. And maybe who I am.
And even just looking at this, I'm thinking like, yeah, he may have started out as gutter rap, but I'm not even sure that the guy fits into the category anymore.
No, I don't think that's, it's just like some funky
It's like,
right
for
there,
instance,
man. That was mad, right?
And then you had like the people that like did crazy descriptive rap before it was popular in Australia, like Alex Jones and all them people. It's like they're actually ridiculously fucking talented.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like, now I'm actually seeing a lot of like rappers like start sounding like Alex Jones, and I'm like, can you just get your own fucking sound? Like, you sound like Alex Jones.
But that's the thing, it's because half of these rappers are from Melbourne and it's the accent.
No, we got like fucking Adelaide people, man.
Yeah, but that's because half of them like just like the way that they puts together lyrics. Like, and that's the thing, it's a lot of the symmetry. And the thing is, you can stand out and be your own sound and all that. But the thing is, being able to mesh sounds is probably one of the most solid characteristics you can have. Because, for instance, Wu-Tang said it in their first album. It's like there isn't one style; it's the complete mesh of every style that made the Wu-Tang so prevalent.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing.
I'm really saying that. Last time we were on video call with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's actually like probably without like
that's crossed my mind too. Like the hardest part is like meshing those styles. You know? Like, I think it is anyway.
But yeah, that's the thing. It can come naturally for a few people, but that's the thing. I find it comes more naturally for the people that are actually producing their shit as well.
I just end up mixing my styles. Like I change up. Like I end up. I think with every single one of my songs, it is quite diverse. Like I don't stick to the same.
Yeah,
style.
but it's even in that regard. It's like in regards of every style, it's like the trap, the drill, the grime, everything like that. The fast pace, not just like as in the narrative of the song.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, because you got these like grime rappers that people ain't doing grime like the UK is, and I even admit that now. Like Wombat's probably the only person in Australia that's doing grime on the same level as them, and he's not even doing grime like substantially now. He's just what he's done in the past for grime in Australia. Yeah. Like once he had that feature with Devlin, he was the best grime artist in Australia, and don't at me, because he is. Like literally, like, and if not, then I don't know who's like. If I'm coming close, if I'm saying second, like probably Nerve, but I don't even feel like he does grime anymore. He just did grime with him back in the day, so in that regard, Wombat's still the best grime artist in my opinion in Australia. Could be wrong. Oof. But
he's going straight out.
Straight out, and if not, it was probably like Alex Jones, but he doesn't have that many grime songs. And when he has done like the whatever the fuck it is, like the P110 or some shit like that. Yeah, P110. Yeah, like when he did that shit, it was fire and all that shit. But yeah, just for consistency along the whole grime spectrum, we go on Wombat.
Alright, so the next segment I want to go into is a bit of like battle rap. I want to talk about like what you know. What you both know on battle rap, because I'm actually not like too apart from like what Eminem's like done, obviously like a lot of people have seen that, and it's like just from 8 Mile shit. I don't know much about really, battle rap apart from what you've like shown me and like what I've seen from you.
Well, pretty much the way it all started for me, I'll tell you. Like at the time I was probably like 16, 17, and I had a friend, and I didn't know what battle rap was at the time. I wasn't into it. I'd like heard of like Cursor at the time and all that shit. Obviously I was young. I was fucking probably like year 8 when he was fucking battling. I don't know, or year 9. I was young as fuck, because I remember I wasn't even 18 when I had my first battle. But I remember I went to my mate's house and he showed me Disaster from King of the Dot, like once that started popping off, and I was like, dude, I could really see myself doing this, because at the time I wasn't a writer. All I did was freestyle, but so did Disaster. His style at the time was like a mix of having written bars but doing his freestyles that obviously went completely off of like what he had originally intended. And in years to come, that became extreme, and people didn't like this because it was his unlimited rounds. Like he would just rap 5 to 10 minutes. But that will influence me to go and send a message to a league owner that I won't mention today, but let's just say very frowned upon nowadays. I sent a message to this league owner for this league, and he's like, yeah, come down. We'll get you in on a freestyle. And anyway, we did this freestyle tournament. I murked this first kid, like absolutely drilled him, and fucking I seen everyone, like all the heads that I know now that were there, said I was doing killer, yada yada. Ended up getting into the semi-finals, and I went up against someone that was a very established battle rapper at the time. Controversially lost the split decision, and I got told outside, blah blah blah, it was politics, all this shit. I didn't care. I was just happy that I had my foot in the door by this time. And so anyway, I find out a few months later that they're not doing single battles anymore. They're doing 2v2s. And I was like, fuck, they're doing a 2v2 tournament. I just want to battle in singles.
Yeah.
So I ended up hitting up the mate that showed me battles in the first time, and I was like getting his confidence up, like, yeah, we can do this, yada yada. Anyway, went to that league for these 2v2, boom, choked, hardcore, fucked my first battle up. No. Yeah. Anyway, boom, went back to that league for a second time later in that year, and boom, choked that battle up. Ended up getting into a little confrontation outside. And I was like, at that time, I was sort of like, yeah, fuck battle rap in general. I just turned 18, I reckon. And then Chimera, shout out, you legend from Real Talk, he sent me a message like, bro, no, sorry, actually, there was one more before this. I went to battle this guy. Can't remember his name at this point. I'll remember it later and I'll kick myself. But yeah, I can't remember this guy I was going to battle. Oh, KK, sorry. And it was for Amped Up in Adelaide. They were a Melbourne league, but they were trying to branch out over here. And anyway, at this time, just mind you, this entire time, I'm on drugs. I'm fucked up. Like,
fucking
I'm selling bulk drugs. I'm on drugs. Like, I'm not a consistent person at this time. I've gone through a lot of shit. And anyway, I end up fucking that battle up too. Skits in my shit, yada yada. But that day, Chimera was sitting there in the crowd, yada yada. He sent me a message later, like, do you want to try and battle for us if we open Real Talk in Adelaide? I was like, well, yeah. And then a couple weeks later, the first ever Real Talk event went down, like Carney versus Gospel, The Kid versus Man is Ill. Great event. And I was like, I could really see myself battling for this league. And so after that, I ended up putting the effort in that I lacked in the first battles, and had the concentration I needed.
This growth mentality.
This battle was never uploaded. I don't know who has the footage, if there even is footage left of this battle. But yeah, it was versus a guy from Method Artist, Atticus. Shout out, homie. We had like a killer battle. I still to this day reckon it would have been one of my best battles ever, but I never got to watch it back, so I got no idea. I cannot even tell you the lyrics I used, so that's how far gone this battle is.
Oh shit.
But I won. And anyway, I got told by Chimera that you'll be on the next Real Talk card, just chill out. So anyway, I'm at this time probably about 19. This is all happening in like the course of a year. And then I finally get to the first paid venue event, like the first time I'm ever battling on like a venue as a single battler. It was just me on the card on my own back.
Yeah.
And so I walked into the Metro Hotel. It's in Adelaide, across from Chinatown. Little shitty hotel, like little shitty bar. But it was pretty much before I forget, the first Real Talk event happened in the Duke Hotel, so it was like a couple streets away, but pretty much in the same vicinity in Adelaide.
Yeah, that's full like fucking like underground.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to say, my first two battles for that league happened in like which is now called Fat Controller, but then it was Cavern Club.
No way.
And the venue before that was Fowler's Club. So I battled pretty much everywhere you can battle in Adelaide.
I fucking love that.
Yeah. Anyway, and then I had this battle with this guy. Shout out, homie, Luciv from Melbourne. Well, he lives in Adelaide now, but we won't even talk about that. Yeah, we had some great battle banter. This guy... No, sorry, I didn't even battle him. Fuck, I'm completely forgetting. I battled Osiris from Melbourne first. It was the first like one I had on a battle, and I remember at the time I was so nervous because there were so many people there because it was a Dundee event. Like Dundee was the main battle in the card.
No way.
So I was so nervous. I was shitting myself. I was like, dude, there's so many fucking people here. Like this place was packed. And I just remember spitting everything so quick, like getting through like 90 seconds worth of material in like 60. And I'm like, dude, you're spitting this way quick. Calm down.
Fuck it.
End up watching the battle back. I'm like, bro, I'm spitting fucking so fast. And anyway, like, to this day, I reckon it was a good battle, but you can see how nervous I was. And the person I was battling was coming off of battling like good people like Matt Klein and other people along that stature, and also had the exposure from battling in Melbourne. So yeah. I was like, and at this point I still hadn't battled out of my home or anything, which took me a few years to do after that anyway. But yeah, anyway, that battle was done, said and done. Had the great experience, met all the people, so I knew who I was working for and everything. And then it came on to the next event after that. We had Elusive versus me. One of my mates moved to South Australia, as I was saying. Great battle. We had sick banter beforehand. We literally, it was like fucking pre-fight banter. We hated each other.
No way.
Yeah, dude, we hated each other. Like I'm talking like sending messages to each other like morning fuckwit and stuff like that. Like we hated each other. Like
no fucking way. It's like you're fucking like you're on stage like already fucking like.
Oh, not even that. It was like, you know when you.
No, but like you're bumping chest, but like from afar, right? No, like you're bumping phones.
No, you know
you're
when
bumping like.
No, that's what I can explain it. Is like, you know when fucking like you just got beef with someone like or some shit and you just like hate the cunt so much, so you just like send them a random message when you fucked up, like fuck you cunt, yada yada, like
blame it on them.
Yeah. And then anyway. That's pretty much essentially what we did for like a month before this battle happened. Like we were just going off at each other, like sending each other messages,
no
like
way.
So, and then like some writing statuses.
Like you're sending a message to your ex.
Yeah, pretty much. It was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we got to do the battle, and shit, you know, this is one of the funniest things I remember from all these things. My mate gave me these, and this is reflecting back at the time I was fucked up on really a lot of drugs. And anyway, I'd been really nervous the battle before that, as I'd told you. So I was fucking shitting myself. So I was like, what can I do to make myself not nervous? And it took me years of experimenting with so many drugs. It was fucked up. Like, every battle, I swear I took a different drug. But,
oh my god.
Yeah, but anyway, the second time I was like, fuck this. And my mate's like, oh, I got these good eckies, like these Red Bull ones that were like little Red Bulls, like square things. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll take one. Like it was a Red Bull symbol. And I'm not meaning to be a bad influence right now, but if you've ever had good ecstasy, like really good ecstasy, the cunt makes you puke. Like,
I did that.
Yeah, it'll make you want to puke badly. And yeah, anyway, I'm like off my head, eyes in the back of my head. I'm hearing, so, to the stage, yada yada, all this shit. I'm fucking like hearing so pretty, like all these screams from the stage. I'm like, what the fuck's happening in the pit format, not knowing that I'm puking in the toilet, but they're wanting me to come out and battle. I shit you not, I walk out still tasting vomit in my throat and chunks and spit the best 3 rounds I spat until that point.
Nice.
I was so happy with that. Literally the best 3 rounds I'd ever spat until that point. And
that's mad.
And yeah, it just went on from there. And I remember I did one more battle after that I didn't do one more battle after that. Chimera hit me up and was like, would you want to sell tickets originally for the Real Talk? And I was like, yeah, I can sell tickets. And I sold all the tickets he gave me. And then he ended up having a chat to the boys in Brisbane and saying, would you mind if Soap ran the tryout leagues? And so meanwhile I'm getting ready to do this event with Ethan versus Ethan Wren. I'm also putting together my first ever battle event with a shitload of tryout battlers that are way more inconsistent than any battler that's on the map.
Yeah, no fucking way, man.
And so yeah, just ended up being a head fuck. To tell you the truth, I enjoyed putting battles together and everything, but I can't tell you what battles I put together aside from like 1 or 2. Like, the only person I can really say I was glad that I found is D-Real. That motherfucker is an amazing battler. So glad that he just messaged me out of the blue, and then he came and absolutely shocked everyone with how crazy he is. And then he ended up going all over Australia and doing battling of all things, the things that I fucking... And now he's killing it in music. I can't give enough praise to D-Real. Shout out Loeb, D-Real, everyone at Delhi. Those are the killers.
Alright, so... for the last segment, I will have to go on, it's basically like a little interview on just what you've been doing in the past couple of months, and just like the start of this year to like now, but we're going to go back, like, we're going to probably just go backwards instead of go forwards. There's going to be a twist on things.
Yeah, that's
so we're going to start with like what you've been up to recently. I know you went to Melbourne to do a couple of back-to-back videos for a couple of songs that you were doing. Let's talk about those. What are the songs called?
I ended up doing them, but I ended up doing like a sort of lazy version of it. I didn't do complete takes and everything. It's just like stupid shit of like single words and it's going to end up being cut together. So it's going to be fun, but it's going to be annoying to do as well. So I'm probably going to end up getting it cut with stuff that I do back here at home, but to be honest, that was more just so I could go shopping and take my missus on holiday.
I fucking get that.
But yeah, before that, it was like, because I went there with the full intention to do full tracks, but I ended up having the tracks done before I went. But when you're on holiday, you know how fucked up you get. Let's put it this way, I was that drunk when I rocked up on the first day. I don't remember rocking up on the first day. I woke up in my bed the next day.
Pretty much, that's how it goes, like when you go fucking out to like somewhere with heaps of money, you're just like, alright, let's go fucking get drunk, let's go fucking...
But I have to say this, Melbourne, wonderful city, but I'm not capping, bro. I feel like Adelaide has better food. No cap.
Well, what do you mean? That's why I went, that's what I want to go to Melbourne for.
Nah, bro, let's put it this way. The food's killer, like the whole, the array of foods is great. Like everywhere you can eat, all the types of food you can eat is great. But I'm telling you, when I went to the average pub in Melbourne, bro, the average meal that I could get in Adelaide was better than the average pub meal. It's crazy.
No fucking shit. I mean, the pub meals here are pretty good. I mean, the Cooper's Ale House has got some pretty fucking good palmies, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly, yeah. And if you go to the original, Cooper's House in fucking the middle of Adelaide.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm talking about. That's the one I got.
The one at Jeb's Cross, good, but the one in fucking City, fucking very chef kiss. It's my favorite place to go.
So we're gonna go through a few songs that you've done. We're gonna go through like the top 5 most popular songs that you've done First one is Ain't Fake. I'm not going to get copyright strike for these because if I do, then I'm just going to fucking send it back to you.
Yeah, no, it's okay, don't worry, you won't get struck.
Cool.
Not fake like you flops, bro, our dues been paid,
This
so we
is the one
say
you
what
do
we
with
want.
Minox.
Nah, you know we ain't fake like you flops, not the type to open mouth and go on bark like a dog. I kill myself to kill you, fucking kamikaze. Trust me, brother, don't ever try to put it past me. I kill this shit in less than a fucking heartbeat. I got the beat today and wrote the bars last week. I blast heat, I ain't going to plateau. Bars heat this deep, man. You wishing you had these geeks. Man, they eager to peek from the shadows. Won't spot me like I'm fucking rocking some camo. Catch those. Yeah, I got some bars that go overhead, but I earned my spot, so I get to chill with vets. And last time I checked, you should pay your respect. Like a mate just went and faced the angel of death. Ages I kept this shit under lock and key.
So like, talk about how like the making of this one, because I saw I one of the bars in there was like, if like you've made your spot like with vets basically, because like you've built from the ground up, especially in like what you were talking about with a lot of your battle rap. So like, talk about like what the making and the idea of the concept of it.
This wasn't even any concept type shit. This was just I hit Minox up because he'd always been one of the biggest influences I had from Adelaide. And at the time, I heard that he was moving back to Adelaide because he'd been working in Melbourne for a long time. And I figured I'd shoot him a message. And the love I got from Minox straight up, like literally, this guy is the best artist in Adelaide all round. I'm not saying like the best hip hop artist. I'm saying the best artist, best tattoo artist, best rapper. Like, if you want to put him in a category, this cunt ain't a rapper, he is a pure artist. As he said in one of his tracks, he doesn't make rap, he makes art, and I fucking 100% agree with that cunt.
Fuck yeah, I can actually respect that.
But yeah, I didn't have to pay anything for this feature. I think, from what I recall, I don't reckon I did. I reckon he just did it out of love, and for that, Monopsis. Even if I had to pay $2,000 for his verse, I wouldn't have cared, bro. This guy is one of the best in Adelaide, and I will say that with confidence.
Alright, so we're gonna skip, or do you want to skip this one, or
It's up to you.
Oh, we'll play it anyway. I'll just play your verse. So before we go on, this is MC Zach, like they don't know. This is the remix of the beat. I forgot who the artist was, but I did
KRS-One.
I was about to say I did actually find them.
What happened with this one? I'll tell you a little bit of backstory before I play it. I was sitting there one day, I was like fucking around with this beat, and Johnny came around because we were gonna arrange traffic cones.
Yeah, we're just gonna arrange traffic cones.
Yeah, you know, I was like, and like an angry council worker, I was planning to punch traffic cones. Anyway.
Fucking straight up.
Anyway, yeah, I was fucking around with this beat, and he was like, oh, I've always wanted to jump on the track with you anyway. And I was like, fuck it, like, today's the day, might as well do it, write yourself a verse, because I already had one verse on there, and I couldn't be fucked writing another one. So I was like, do it.
I already had some shit already like pre-written.
Yeah, so I was like, boom, there you go, use it.
And it was like, it was the first time I'd actually jumped on a proper microphone, because the ones I was using before was just like a USB plug-in. There was no interface. You can pretty much hear it in like the starting sounds of my songs. I can only go a couple of the songs in the album are properly mixed. Like Nike's, I rapped on like Scott's fucking mic as well, which is pretty good. I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate that. But then
you tried to bring it back and use recordings that you had on the other one.
No. I didn't use. No, I just did dubs.
Oh yeah.
That's all I did.
Yeah, you did dubs, yeah, and then
that's all I did.
Yeah.
Because like I didn't get enough time to do them with yours, I just did them at home. But they worked anyway, because dubs aren't like your main vocals. You want your main vocals to be the good ones. So your dubs can be alright. So we're gonna go straight up to Clean Slate.
To be honest, I don't even remember recording any of this.
Seriously?
I'm just gonna be completely honest with this one, alright? At this point in my life, this was the worst I ever was. Alright? I'm just going to be a little bit honest right now. I was eating probably like fucking 100 Xanax a week.
Fucking hell,
I was drinking probably like 2 to 3 liters of fucking lean a week. Like, I was fucked. I was at the height of being
how are you still here?
Yeah, no, I was at the height. I was fucked. Like, I remember probably the week before I recorded this song, I'd gone to Melbourne for the first time. And I went there with like 30 Xanax, like other drugs, and I flew there like an idiot. Like, I mean, with inside the courts of Australia, I flew like I was high as hell while I drove. You know, like wink, wink.
Are you fucking?
No. Fucking anyway. None of that. Yeah, it was fucked. Like, just that's happy that life's turned around and it wasn't the same. But so I'm just gonna say this song is probably of subpar caliber to everything that I ever made. But for some reason, people fucking liked it, and I'm so fucked up in the track. It's horrible.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not that song actually. It's a different song that I'm gonna, because you were talking about like how you've changed yourself. Oh, it's that background, but it's a different fucking song. Where is it? It's Lost Time. There it is. This is it's dude, 7,000 fucking plays.
How the fuck is that not on the top of the list?
Damn.
What the fuck? Like, when did that happen?
Dude, see, fucking 7,000 fucking plays. I fucking love that shit, dude.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie. I hated recording this song. I hated making the whole thing. And the same with
I listened to this so many times.
No, but this is the thing. This is the thing that people tell me, and this is what annoys me about my music. All the songs that I hate fucking recording are the ones that everyone's like, oh, dude, that was a killer song.
Turn out the best.
Yeah, I know.
Not even that.
The most.
Like, and the ones that I have fun,
fun.
like recording, like self-evaluation, I hated recording that. That was the one that was the hardest to ever record.
We'll wait.
Yeah, that was the one that was the hardest to ever record out of all the songs that I did.
Yeah, I know.
It was just facing everything that I'd gone against.
I listened to that so many times, it made me so depressed, but it just makes you realise. So this is lost time. So
to tell you the truth, I couldn't even remember this song from the beginning either. Like, I'm expected to play a set in a couple months, and I'm gonna have to I'm playing in Melbourne on October 28th. Alias's album launch. Well,
Get fucked, dude, I can't even be there.
Yeah, if anyone wants to see that, that's where it'll be. Anyway, I'll update venues on my like socials, Instas, all that shit. Like, to be honest, I'll go ghost and then come back a week later. So if I've got a fucking show, you'll know about it because I'm not ghost. Yeah, but anyway, this I literally cannot remember recording either. Like, I know it was hard to record, but I can't remember like how it goes or anything, because I record these hard tracks and then I don't like to listen to them. I'll still put them out because it's about that thing, the image that you want to put out. But at the same time, I wanted to put an image out of strength. So if you're willing to like share your fucking deepest and darkest secrets with most of the world, then what the fuck can anyone really use against you?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's like, but I guess that's a lot of my battle rap aspect.
If you don't hide anything, no one can fucking like bring it out.
Yeah,
against you, yeah.
And that's the thing, and I guess that's a lot of me realizing that the bravado of battle rap was a bunch of bullshit, like in the beginning too. So like the thing is, if I ever am to battle again, you're not going to get the same person that you got years ago. I might be the same like in your face fuck you type of dude, but the thing is, none of the stuff that I'll say will be aimed at the same demographic it was back then. No. So, because I've said some shit that's fucking unforgivable in battles. I'm not gonna quote it here because you can go back and watch them. Pump my views up.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna listen to Lost Time. One of my favourites too.
And to tell you the truth, I can't even tell you whose fucking beat this is now. I'm sorry if it's one of the homies and I've completely forgot, but I can't tell you whose beat this is.
I think it might have been actually.
I fuck up, no matter what I try and do. Sick of living persistent visions, I'll tie that noose. Another loss to the system and that be fine with you. I'm striving just to find a way to keep fighting through. I'm trying, dude, but I'm feeling like it's time this ended. I lost real mates trying to defend a fake friendship. At least I thought they were real, or maybe they pretended. So I suppress these memories that I regret to mention. Feel the tension as I enter all these get-togethers, and they wonder why it is I never want to get together. I'll lie to your face and say that I'm never better, but in reality it's depression and it doesn't let up. I forget it got worse in the last month. It's hard cause I hate thinking when I spark up. Think of the worst times and still try to laugh, but until they find me dead with that toaster in a bathtub. So no wonder why I hide what's underneath, thinking my death would mean that I'm finally at peace. And why some nights I cry myself to sleep at the thought of me dying, being hung by my sheets. So no wonder why I hide what's underneath, thinking my death would mean that I'm finally at peace. And why some nights I cry myself to sleep at the thought of me dying, being hung by my sheet. I'd rather die than live like a leech. Type of guy from guy that speaks. They certified in dodging their beats, while I'm certified in dodging police. I may lose sleep, but I won't lose focus. Depression ain't hefty if you ain't hopeless. Continue to compose like I was Beethoven, trying to convince this world that I ain't broken. They noticed I've been staring into vacant space, searching for my empty soul in an empty space, symbolizing the feeling I wish I could take away. It's a colourful life, but my mind paints it grey. I've lost myself since I cleaned the habit. I'd be lying if I didn't miss the lean and Xanax. Seeming damaged, I'm a sleeping addict. Won't be dramatic, but how do I even manage? How do I even manage? I might as well be fucking speaking Spanish. So no wonder why I hide what's underneath, thinking my death would mean that I'm finally at peace. And why some nights I cry myself to sleep at the thought of me dying, being hung by my sheets. So no wonder why I hide what's underneath, thinking my death would mean that I'm finally at peace. And why some nights I cry myself to sleep at the thought of me dying, being hung by my sheet. I'm feeling so sick, like I'm about to flip. Didn't think life would amount to this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not doing fine. Borderline of suicide, identity blind, who am I? I don't even know. I lost myself lately and it starts to show. I've improved myself, but went back to the bars and snow. So fuck it, it's like, let's see how far this goes. Whoa, you've been taking this too far. Making money, man, I made more money when I moved shard. These CEOs went and bought new cars, while I still can't afford an Uber. A loser, but I stay focused still. For those that are broke, man, I know the feel. Out for cash, hoping to close a deal, cause I just want to give my mum a fucking meal. So I wonder why I hide what's underneath, thinking my death would mean that I'm finally at peace.
That's a fucking mental song.
Even listening to the whole thing again, still didn't remember fuck all lyrics.
Yeah, see, but it's like a whole new experience.
Yeah, this is the weirdest thing. Like, and I fucking trust me, it's even worse. Like when I have people hit me up, like, oh, you got half unrecorded songs here. Alright, I'll show you. I'll look at the song, like, yeah, I'm definitely never finishing that.
100%, man. Now the next song, it's the last song, is Two Kings. I remember you made this with Manazil. And you were talking about how fucking excited you are to get in the fucking booth with him and just like sit there watching him. Right. You were just fucking like you were so busy that week I couldn't even get a hold of you.
Right. I was literally like trying to get this done was the thing, because I knew I had like the appointment to do the recording, and I knew that I had to get Manners into the studio with Loeb to do it. Shout out Loeb again. And we had organised it and everything, but the whole thing was I just wanted to see Manners' creative process, because I understood like how he would structure verses and everything over the beat would be different, being like everything that he knows, and obviously he'd have to remember all these verses off the top of his head, like anything that he records, because it's not like he can actually have any assistance in seeing it, so it makes it hard. And just watching this guy create, it shows the effort that is put into his music and everything that I can't even describe the level of creativity that Manners and Larrikin have. Larrikin for beats and Manners for just the way he applies stuff.
I can't believe I accidentally said some shit on Larrikin's comment feed once. I fixed that shit up so fast, so man.
Yeah, that's the thing, and once again it comes back to being young in the scene. For instance, when I was around that league, I was dissing batters, I was dissing rappers that I had no fucking business being in, like, especially when I was fucked up. Like, shout out to Dunks, bro. I remember we got into some fucking Facebook argument. I mean, now I'd probably like have a better chance of actually doing a decent battle with him and everything. But I remember I was so fucked up at the time that I was talking bulk shit just because he was one of the most known battlers in Adelaide. And kids, that is not how you get recognition. Dissing rappers is how you get dissed and hurt.
Yeah. Oh, that's how you get your head stomped.
Yeah.
But trust me, it's not the way to go. Let's put it this way: you be friends with people and
make connections.
Well, if they don't automatically hate you, then you'd be cool. Like
if they already hate you, then you start dissing.
Yeah, let's put it this way: there's going to be
there's
going to be some people in life that are not going to like you either way. So just who gives a shit? Just do you do you, as they say.
We're going to listen to Two Kings, and then we're going to do an outro.
Wonder what we're A grade. Two kings came from the same state. We ain't in it for fake mates. End up tied in the boot with the great tape. Adelaide, no wonder why we're A grade. Two kings that came from the same state. Fakes can try and just save face. End up suffering that same fate. Yeah, they think it's all fun and games. Think that they punch on for days. I used to run with a blade till one got swung, took a chunk at my face. Aim for the brain could have been worse, I guess. A low life that time, a perfect death. I learnt my worth and worked for it, and now I've got a good life and I've earned no debt. But yet, old habits, they die hard. Life hits hard, no lights far. Regrets like back when I'd buy shards. Bro, you don't want a glimpse of my past. I laugh, but I fought for this. I was penning rhymes as that awkward kid. Now I prove them wrong when they're talking shit, cause it was men like manners that taught me this. Adelaide, no wonder why we're A grade. Two kings came from the same state. We ain't in it for fake mates. End up tied in the boot with the great tape. Adelaide, no wonder why we're...
Just saying this for the record, bro. When I listen to my music, I usually listen to the songs that have other people in them and don't even listen to my own verse.
Yeah, no, see,
I'll literally
like,
yeah, I'll be like, buzz, I'll put on this cunt, like, and then I'll be like, oh, this verse is fat, like, and yada yada, but it's so stupid.
Great, two kings that came from the same state. Fakes can try and just save face. End up suffering that same fate.
So you think you're a boss? What's a boss to a king? What's a king to a god?
Who? What? Make way for the true king. Yeah, I'ma show you how we do things. I ain't out here trying to chase hits and roll with the punches based on how my mood swings. I came in the game as a newcomer, said I do numbers within a few summers. Now keep it 200. You act like you don't, but you can't know the answer when they asking who's running. I hit the scene and they hit the deck, and I let through my competition rip to shreds. Some say they won't stand for no disrespect, to which I said fine, you should sit instead. My spirit is a crown, and I use a throne as a bar stool. The scene is my kingdom, the stage is my court, and I use the studio as my castle.
Adelaide, no wonder why we're A grade. Two kings came from the same state. We ain't in it for fake mates. End up tied in the boot.
Like I said, Monops and Manners, most two creative rappers in Adelaide. Don't at me. Oh, you just stopped it there. Just say it and then continue on the recording and edit them together. Podcast. There you go.
I don't know why the fuck it like wanted it. Bitch.
Now you just do the same thing, you just continue on for your outro and right, so it's not the outro.
I gotta find the actual folder again.
There.
Rap is it?
Alright, now basically to end the stream, well, to end the podcast, I want to thank Soapsides and I want to thank See No Evil for jumping on here, and thank you for talking about all your battle rap, all the history of like just what you've been doing in Oz hip hop in itself, and basically just being here for so long as well, because I know it's like 10:40 at night and it's so fucking exhausting as shit for other people. But yeah, thank you.
No, it's no stress. Yeah, I didn't have work tomorrow, so I figured fuck it, we'll get this done, because as you know, I was meant to come over here earlier, but I didn't get around it earlier, so I was like, fuck it, let's get it done, and now it's late at night. I'm just going to say this for the people who know, we're going to go arrange traffic cones quickly and I'm going to head home.
Alright, so check out Soapsides on all of the socials. Go check them out on Facebook, go check them out on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube.
Anywhere that your listening is fucking listen to music, you'll probably find me. Or, let's put it this way, if the Spotify gods get angry with the remixes or stuff like that, you'll find me on YouTube.
Fucking this guy. Thank you. This has been Real Connection Podcast, and we're out.
Peace. There you go.
Oh, man.
Fucking Spotify gods. I like it.
No, they are. They're the Spotify gods.
I'll
You pissed them off.
edit that one and then, like, send you guys, like, I'll send the fucking thing off. Oh, man. Let's go check out the fucking comments and everything. Add that to the end of the podcast. That was like just over an hour. What do we got?
Send you likes. Send you likes.
Like 1.
Send you likes.
10.
Intimidation. Someone just screamed intimidation.
Wait, what?
Intimidation.
No, my brother's. Oh, there was actually a good amount of people on.
There you go.
9. Went up to about 9. Not bad, eh?
Not bad. You still got 2 people watching now.
Thanks, Hyphna. You're a fucking mad dog. Thank you for jumping on the podcast. Thank you for everyone who did jump on the podcast. And I'm going to be snipping all the edits. And I actually did film it this time, so I'll be putting the actual podcast as well as the audio podcast on my YouTube, and I'll be promoting that everywhere. So peace. Appreciate you, motherfucker.
What's your code, bro?